business definitely will have to go beyond traditional interventions like compensation and benefits. And I feel that the answer lies in a three-pointed model, which I call D, A and C. D stands for development, A stands for appreciation, and C stands for care. Development, I think businesses will definitely have to invest in developing their employees and making them better professionals, getting them and helping them identify career opportunities and developing them in a holistic manner. While they do so, they should also create platforms where they can appreciate the efforts that the employees are putting in to make the business successful. And while doing so, we need to showcase genuine care for our employees, care through our well-being policies, care through work flexibility, and the main role I feel is played by the manager, who has to basically be emotionally engaged with his team. And while doing so, while we invest in this, we have to also see to it that we invest in building great teams that employees feel happy to be a part of. I think if we are able to do these things, we are confident that we will be able to engage our teams in a more holistic manner.
Depending on what is requirement. So it's different stroke for different people. Our insurance benefits, our maternity benefits, the way we care for our people in terms of designing programs for them, the parental care which is extended, all the benefits in combination have formed a very, very interesting attraction strategy for us as far as our people go. Needless to say, when you are spending so much time at work, it's important that you feel bonded with the organization. And I think that's something where we have extensively worked on. Celebrations of festivals, celebrations of success, all of this together creates a different bond between the employees. In fact, we truly believe and practice that employees are our bench strength. Not just that, they are our brand ambassadors. I think these create a bonding to the organization. These creates a spirit where people would like to stay back, join, and also recommend their friends as referrals. It's amazing for me to share that out of our attrition, there is a 7% of people who within the first 4 months of leaving would like to join back Inframarket. And I think this speaks volumes to the fact that while we attract talent, from the onboarding to the actual stay and growth of the individual, we pay utmost attention to ensure that they are totally ingrained in the organization.
So in today's job market, talent is not just looking at compensation or benefits. Rather, they're looking at a sense of purpose, growth opportunities, and flexibility. Here at Altimetric, we follow certain things which has helped us in terms of attracting the talent as well as retaining the talent. Now, in terms of attracting the talent, we have kept our working model deliberately as hybrid, which gives them an opportunity to balance their work and life. With regards to retention, there are multiple things that we do. In terms of, let's say, their training and upskilling, we follow this thing which is called as dual domain, dual technology. We expect every engineer here to learn something other than their own core field. We also have this Think Thursdays, which is a platform where an engineer can come and display their potential or something that they have learned. And it is also a platform where others can learn through the best practices what the other engineer has done. We also reward digital disruptors here. And we have a very good innovation program through which we recognize good talent amongst us. Some of these programs have helped us retain talent and thereby build a world-class engineering organization.
So would you like to be hired by a company that runs a complete recruitment process through their AI bots? If you ask me personally, I would love to work with a company that uses technology, but as well as creates a great human touch in a hiring process. And hence the answer lies, I feel, in the fact that we need to use AI to make better decisions, to do better assessments, but a great recruitment process will always be pivoting on a combination of human touch and a great AI model.
any usage of technology, usage of the AI systems, tools which are available are very well developed, and definitely in any organization, a forward-looking organization should try to go in for it. However, HR is one field which is extremely people-centric. People by nature, psychology is that they need to have an interactive session. It's very difficult to basically express yourself when you know that someone who's not listening to you is actually judging you. While I think that AI plays an important role during the attraction, during hiring of talent, it should be used as an indicative tool. There definitely needs to be a very personal touch, a very personal understanding and a conversation before you make somebody a part of your organization. At InfraMarket, we do things a little differently. While we use psychometric as one of the tools for testing, we use the AI to basically create certain indications for us on the selection of the candidate. Interviews happen at 2 layers. Definitely it happens at a very pure level, because that sets the culture expectation, the adaptability of the candidate. It talks about whether the person will fit in, allows us to basically identify any those areas which the manager may fail to, because that will be a doctored interview. A casual interview, a peer level interview always helps to bring out the best of the candidate, the real of the candidate. And I think the concentration for that human touch comes not through the AI methodologies, but definitely when a person is able to have a face-to-face conversations. And I think we use this extensively. Round about 90% of the interviews would definitely happen face-to-face, unless of course because of the distance and we do have virtual meetings. But as an industry, I would definitely recommend that the combination, a fair balance between AI and a personal touch, a personal interview for an HR is extremely important. While we should definitely use the AI technologies, the modern technologies, we definitely should not lose the people touch.
Artificial intelligence has certainly made the recruitment process much more easier, especially in areas like resume screening, skills evaluation, etc. Here at Altimetric, we certainly use the AI in multiple stages of recruitment, like for example, parsing of resumes, coding assessment, and so on. However, we emphasize on the human touch in this entire aspect of it. At the same time, we also focus heavily on the ethical usage of the AI in all the stages of recruitment process. In terms of the human touch, we have trained our managers in such a way that they focus not just on the technical aspects of it, rather they understand the career aspirations of the engineers and thereby create an environment in such a way that the engineer also grows, and along with that the organization also benefits with this entire approach. So this is how we've been able to use AI, at the same time manage the expectations of our engineers and grow accordingly.
Creating a balance between developing your internal talent and hiring impactful talent from the market is an important agenda on any CHRO's desk. And I feel you can achieve this by consistently reviewing your talent pipelines, identifying your internal talent, investing in them, developing in them so that they are ready when the opportunity arises. And while doing so, also identifying the gaps that you face and then getting external talent to fill those gaps, I think creates a great talent strategy for any organization.
At this point, it is very relevant for me to talk about what happens at InfraMarket. InfraMarket over the last 8 years has grown from 300 people to over 5,500 people today. And this growth has happened not just because of a need. It's happened because when we hire people, they teach us on which are the avenues which are there in the construction world which will help to build businesses. People who have joined us in mid-level roles have actually taken up business responsibilities and have really moved up. So cross-selling, vertical movement upward, taking newer roles, moving from different functions is all given as an opportunity to our employees. Not just that, we have a potential development plan which is studied, understood, and it's chalked out, and this is reviewed every 6 months. The reason for doing it every 6 months is that the speed of the growth in the business should match up to the expectations and the readiness of the organization and its employees. And I feel extremely privileged to basically talk about this, that our employees have taken these opportunities where they have moved across functions, they have taken larger roles within the business, and which are very, very well succeeding. And I think this is the element which actually creates the fabric of the organization. The fabric of the organization where people feel involved, they feel empowered, and they want to stay back because they are very sure that they are doing their work with an ownership, with a responsibility. And that's a clear sign of a growing and successful organization. I'm sure that this experiment, which started as an experiment in infra market, is very true for any organizations. The more you give empowerment to your people, the more you allow them to take the risk, the agility, the productivity, all of that comes out very naturally. I would definitely urge that we should try out, as HR, we should try out these experiments, because there's no ready fixed or a vanilla solution for any of the organization. Understanding the culture, the value of the organizations, and mapping it, aligning it with your own people, your own culture is extremely important. And I think HR plays a very relevant role. In fact, HR plays the critical role in ensuring that they are able to match up the expectation of the employees while the culture is being built up, because both of these leads to a successful organization.
Organizations in general should start with a skill assessment plan across the organization. First thing they need to do is baseline all the skills that are available, understand the future demands, and then look at what the gaps are there within the organization. Accordingly, after the skill assessment is done, then the learning and the training program has to be drawn up. Adequate training and support should be given to the engineers to ensure that they fill up the gaps and come up to the future demand requirement. Once this is done, then the future demand should be assessed looking at the internal supply, and thereby the delta should go to the strategic hiring plan. Post this exercise, a strategic workforce planning needs to happen, which will encompass the existing skill set, the future demands, and the gap. And that also will include what the strategic hiring that needs to happen. Basis this is how organizations can now start building their talent pipeline, which can not only meet their current demand, plus fulfill the future demands as well. Now, this should be an ongoing activity wherein a quarterly assessment of skills needs to be done, and continuously engineers should be trained and upskilled so that they are always future ready workforce in the organization.